So your earliest memories of when you became Allison's, what are those?
My earliest memories are of joining the firm when it's based at Burnham-on-Sea, and David Williams was there, and Brian Watkins, and I came, and I think I turned up at the office with an earring in one ear by mistake one day.
I've heard that from Chrispin.
I got quite long hair, and I think they never let me see the guy called Bert Allison, who's one of the sort of the
his name
founding,
sounds like it should have something to do with it.
Yeah, I think it does. He's one of the founding fathers, but our paths never quite crossed. I think they kept me away from him because they knew he wouldn't approve of me.
So how did you get across the threshold at all?
Well, I went for an interview, and probably there was no one else being interviewed. I don't actually know. But I was living in Bristol, and I went for an interview with Lloyd Davison. I remember Bristol, didn't get that. And then the second interview was with Allison's in Burnham, and don't really know why I got it. But
And that was as a solicitor or as a trainee?
as a solicitor, yeah.
You completed your traineeship?
19, yeah, I think I was just waiting, or maybe I'd got my resits for part 2s. So, yeah, 1977, I think, yeah.
And did they keep history then? Is that part of the prehistoric record? Oh, sorry, 77, right?
77. No, if you dig up the bones from that period, it's amazing what you can discover.
So archaeology tells us what happened.
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, it's the only way they know anything about it, obviously nowadays.
And how many years ago is that? 77 to 13?
I know you do the math.
20, 36?
Something like
46?
That, yeah. No, not 36. I think.
Is it?
Yeah, 36.
36
quite
years.
some time ago. And then there's Allison's at Burnham, Allison's at Weston, and then Brian Watkins had started the small office in Court Street in Bridgewater, partly because I think he was having an affair with a woman in Bridgewater at the time.
So the
who
convenience
subsequently married, so it's a little love nest there for him.
So that was legitimised.
Oh, legitimate.
Shall I delete this?
No, I can go in. He's not
That's
here.
the most important bit. and have we got any documentary evidence of that, Chris?
No, I don't have anything that I can. No, I could be making this up.
No, I thought we had
Memory
some letters.
page.
I thought we had some letters in the storage.
I don't know. Not that I'm aware of. You might know more than I do. No.
No, actually, I was going to ask you, Chris. So, who did you train with? Who did you do your training contract?
Okay, I trained with 2 people. The first person was someone called Malcolm Yaffe, who's a Jewish guy in Southgate, way up, sort of the outskirts of North London, who was very eccentric indeed. I got his details from the Legal Action Group bulletin, which for them was its embryo, it was probably like a year old or something. It's very radical. He advertised.
So you wanted to be a radical solicitor?
Yeah, I did, and
As proved by the earring.
he advertised for a trainee, so I went there. His office was his house. He just had a room in his house. He had 2 huge English sheepdogs, and he had 2 young children and a wife called Merrill, who was quite put upon. And he was very eccentric. He was the legal correspondent for Forum magazine, which was a sort of strange section. Well, I don't know how you can describe it.
I thought that was something to do with Playboy.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't pictures. It was a sort of like a. It was like
written material.
written material. On the front is a sort of sexual liberation.
Yeah, no, that's.
And he was the legal correspondent. So we
Well,
had.
he actually wrote articles.
Yeah,
Did you
interesting.
ever second you to that?
I think I definitely helped. And
Does Christine know that?
she knows all about
Was
it.
it on the law?
It was law,
Oh,
yeah.
on the law.
And he did write. He wrote. He's a sort of wanted to be a novelist. He used to write things, but his wife. He's into Resurgence magazine and that sort of thing. So his wife had to grind the corn. At the kitchen table, but he had a television because he needed to be kept abreast of media, that sort of thing. So he's a bit of an anomaly, but he was a very nice guy, and we did some criminal work in Tottenham Magistrates Court, did some PI stuff, and he had various sort of friends locally. Stuff they didn't want. he did, debt collection. And I remember one blackmail case I did with him, where someone was being blackmailed. They had to leave the money in the toilet in a cistern at some public conveniences in Tottenham or somewhere. And so I had to go into these public conveniences to suss out what went on there. Sort of. It's quite interesting. I was going there, looking underneath to see. Yeah, looking to see what you could see underneath the door, what you
Before George Michael.
and over the partition, what you could see in here.
So you were quite a hands-on lawyer.
I only did a year there, and then and I seem to remember going to Tottenham County Court, turning up there as a trainee solicitor, but wearing my jeans and everything, and the which is amazing. I was so naive. The district judge obviously thought I was acting in person. What it was. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was clear he didn't think I was anything to do.
I imagine because he couldn't hear you.
Probably, yeah. Exactly. I didn't have the waistcoat on. And then after a year, Malcolm moved down to Cornwall, where he did magic trick. He's a part-time magician as well, which was absolutely amazing. He's a right character.
Forum correspondent and magician.
Yeah, he's a real character. And,
fantastic training.
Yeah, so he went down to Cornwall, so I moved to Stanton Goldman, another Jewish guy, in above Turnpike Lane tube station, literally right above it. There's a tube station and there's a couple of shops and then there's some offices above. We're above there. And he was a great character. He was very working class Jewish. He used to swear in Yiddish and came out with all these Yiddish phrases that I used to sort of really take delight in. Like Kishman Topish is kiss my ass. Scheitel is a wig that the Hasidic Jews used to wear. Can't remember the other ones now, but yeah, he's a real character. He used to sometimes walk around the office in a string vest. He used to be well in with the
I think I should have interviewed Chrispin. I came for a job.
in with the Turkish Cypriot community, which is very strong there.
Because of the string vest? Or?
Well, I don't know why, but he was a really nice guy. And he was really, really good. He was very friendly and kind to me as well. So I had a year with Malcolm Yaffe and he was down to Goldman. So they were all a bit off the cut. They're all one-man band now and very quite, potentially, I don't know about dominated, but big firms make their presence felt, don't they, with strict regimes and that sort of thing. So I've never worked anywhere like that.
Do you regret the passing of the eccentric lawyer?
Well, I think it's a nice
idea. It's a loss to the
idea.
community.
Has it passed? I mean, there's an interesting. Do you accept that idea has passed?
It's not entirely past, but I think that they Stanton Goldman was I suppose a traditional high street lawyer, where we do crime, conveyancing, and anything that came through the door really, and that has passed, hasn't it? I think sadly in one way, but Stephen and I, we've had conversations. It's dangerous nowadays to try and cover areas that you're not really familiar with, isn't it?
So we're resuming.
Yeah, it's just the way of the world, isn't it? But I think perhaps in those days, solicitors were seen in a different way. Sorry. If I see one, I'll take one out as well.
It's more of an interrogation than you realise.
Yeah.
Not what you're supposed to say.
My genitals.
Got that wrong. Are you sure that's what you
Wrong
meant?
answer.
Yeah, so the electrodes now making me sing like a canary.
So Chris, how Arlington's split into 3 independent branches?
3, yeah. Well, so there's Weston, Burnham, and Bridgewater. I think the people what happened is, Weston had leasehold premises, Bridgewater had leasehold premises, Burnham had premises at College Street which they owned, which all the partners owned, and then they bought what was formerly a butcher shop over the street, and so that was quite a bit of money, I don't know what it'd be nowadays, 200,000 or something, because they bought the freehold of it. But we sold the other property, and I think the people at Weston were sort of unhappy about, not unhappy as in arguing and falling out in a nasty way, but they just thought it was. I think the financial commitment was more than they'd want to get involved in it, I think. So we just split separately in a very, very happy, there's no unpleasantness about it. And we all had a share of the assets and everything, and we just went our separate ways, but we all kept the name Alexson, which was potentially quite confusing. But obviously Weston's been bought, is Wards, isn't it now? Wards, yeah. And really, people in Burnham and people in Bridgewater, there's been very little cross referrals, really. Yeah, they don't do legal aid work now, no. So I mean, that was it. You know, when you're talking about, Stephen was talking about things changing. I mean, in the old days, you could do you could just do legal aid in anything you wanted to, basically. You know, if you're a solicitor, you could do legal aid, and you could do it in any area you felt like you wanted to. Without, you didn't have to be on a panel, you didn't have to have a franchise, a contract, or anything else. So it was all very free and easy, which in a way seems amazing in retrospect, doesn't it?
Entirely unregulated.
Yeah. Well, the Law Society ran legal aid then. That's the other thing. It was sort of administered by the Law Society rather than
commission or
so I think the LSC, it changed from the Legal Aid Board to the LSC. I think that was the reason. I can't remember that.
You worked in Bridgewater and split off.
Yeah, I was in Bridgewater. When I started, I worked half-time in Burnham, half-time in Bridgewater. And then really I took over the Bridgewater office, which is over premises on Court Street, which is still there over the barbers and stuff on Court Street.
You know where the sandwich shop is in the
Yeah, above that. There's only like three rooms. And then we moved to Cornhill, and then we moved to where we are now.
What was the hierarchy?
And when did you take over when did you become the owner or whatever?
I don't know the date, probably like 86 or something like that.
And was it Court Street then, or was it already in Cornhill?
I think it's Cornhill Lane.
Yeah,
I think so.
And you took it on your own at that stage, didn't you?
Yeah, I took it on my own, and then I think after about a year, 2 years, Stephen was a partner.
Not very long.
Not that long, no. Yeah.
So what do you think about today's impressions?
Well, young people, they're terrible.
I agree.
What do I think about today? No, I think financially it's more challenging, because I think gradually the competitive forces are stronger, I think, in the law, and legal aid is much tighter. So to earn a living, you have to work harder. I think people really did. When I started, it was before there's a minimum wage for trainees, for instance, and it was not long after people were paying to get a traineeship and not really being paid an income, and then it became. I know, I never paid in, but when I went for interview, I remember at one place they said, well, you need to have a private income to be here. So it just transferred from you having to pay to get a traineeship to you expecting to get an income, but not a very big income. And I was living with Chrispin, so she was a teacher, so she was the main. Exactly, yeah. So that's changed. So there's all sorts. But then you read, in the Gazette, the thing in the Gazette today is about how many people are training to be solicitors. There's no chance of training, and whether all these College of Law and BPP are making a lot. They're taking a lot of money off people. Not necessarily under false pretenses, but people should be told that you've only got a 1 in 4 chance of ever getting a traineeship, or 1 in 3 chance, whatever it is. Which I think I understood with accountants is different or something. You have to get a traineeship or whatever it's called.
Before you can do the training.
Before you can do some of the, I don't know whether that is correct, but at the moment it's just a free market for doing training, and people are led to think that they, or people sort of convince themselves they're going to make a career of it.
But access to law profession, effectively, when you were younger, it was just reserved to people who...
Well, yeah, it's a bit like...
No, but the thing is, you have to have...
A bit like barristers.
Yeah, but the thing is, was at the same time, what Chris is talking about is that young people at Chris's age could go to university and get a grant and have everything paid for with no obligations and no debts. And now that's completely lost. And
in my day,
in Chris's day, and in my day, not that I took advantage of it, I'm a slave to one. But it's a...
we had free higher education.
Yeah, free higher education. Did you? And you had all that opportunity to qualify. And the first day I went to do my part one, the crime lecturer said, "Oh, yeah, lads, you're all here, are you? Licensed to print money when you qualify."
Is that what they said?
Yeah. That was a perception.
Well, there were fixed fees for conveyancing, weren't there? Probably at that time. When I qualified, they'd gone, but only about a year or two before. So I
qualified a good deal after you, Chris.
Well, there used to be set fees for conveyancing. So it was all this cartel.
So they were high, very high.
Very high, yeah. And used to be, you had set fees, and that's what, if you bought a house at such a price, that's what every solicitor would charge you.
So how did you choose between solicitors? There was no price advantage between them.
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's only slightly before my time, right?
Yeah.
But I remember when I worked with David, David was saying, oh, they were fantastic days, because he's only like 3 or 4 years older than me. He's 2 or 4 years older. He's saying, those days are gone now, but that's fantastic. I think there's a boom in property anyway, and you could get a really good fee for probably unjustified, I don't know, but you could get a very substantial fee really.
What about the uncertainties of the law now, Chris? What do you think about that?
I think you've got a great future. Yeah, I've got every confidence.
You have already shaken hands.
He didn't talk that well.
I only wish I could carry on. You won't get me like that. No, I think
it's like promotes him a bit, and then when he's very sharp. There's no flies on him.
I've got a very rosy future. I only wish I could get to
very sharp indeed. That Chris is not.
Those days are coming around again. Everything turns full circle, I think. And,
what comes goes around.
I wish I was there to see it. Yeah. No, it's obviously different. But
how was that, sir? That's fantastic.
Yeah, I wanted to ask.
Chris, that was brilliant. It was a lovely little.
I wanted to ask. Do you think nowadays only people who have passion about their job in this sector came out of the lines,
as they say, that is a very good question. I don't know, because I did go into the law because when I was at university I did sociology, and we had what's called a claimants union. We used to go and represent people dealing with redundancy and benefits claims, and I enjoyed that. And that's why I went into the law, because I thought, oh, this is good. I'm sure there's people like that around still, but there is also the perception, and probably always has been, that lawyers can make loads of money. In fact, that's the article in the Gazette today, that really solicitors have done a bad job, because that's why so many people are training, because they think it is still licensed to print money, which it clearly is not. So there are people, but it's difficult to sustain yourself commercially as well as doing that. But I can say I don't regret my career, which is great. Good to say.